Welcome into another edition of the Peyton Chatagnier Show. I'm Neil McCready. This show brought to you by The Rogue, by the way. That is Peyton Chatagnier, Ole Miss second baseman. Ole Miss in the NCAA tournament. They're the last team in, but last team in is still in. And so we'll talk to Peyton about what has to feel like new life today. Has to feel like a reprieve. This has to be just a remarkably exhaling, exhilarating feeling. We'll get to all that in a minute. First, I want to tell you that we're brought to you by The Rogue. We've been brought to you all season by The Rogue. Really appreciate those guys. 4450 I-55 North in Jackson or therogue.com. You've got 1 day left in May. We're taping this on Memorial Day, about 4:40 in the afternoon. Tomorrow, Tuesday, May 31st, to go take advantage of the Collegiate Collection offer. Buy any 2 items, and from the Collegiate Collection, take 20% off. That's Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Alabama, LSU. All those schools. If you got a high school grad that's going to one of those schools, you're looking for a gift, that would be a good one. And or just gifts for yourself, whatever the case may be, as you get ready for summer weather. Get a polo to take someplace if you have to go out when you're at the beach or whatever the case may be. That'd be perfect. So 4450 I-55 North or therogue.com. Peyton, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing awesome.
I don't even know. I don't know how much to tell people about our day today. We probably should just keep it to ourselves. But Peyton had to decide whether he trusted me today, I think, over the course of the morning.
I did. There was just a lot going on.
Yeah, no, I understand. So first, I want to ask you this just real quick, because totally off the subject, but I have the attention span of a 3-year-old lately. Jesus Sanchez for the Marlins just hit a ball 498 feet. Have you ever seen a ball, and it probably went further than that, because I think they stopped where the ball lands. It landed halfway into the upper deck in Philly or wherever the hell they're playing. 498 feet. So it's probably coming down as 500. So that's a bomb. I mean, I guess maybe Alderman or somebody's done that in practice.
What I was about to say.
When someone does that, is it just majestic? Does it kind of take your breath away?
It's unreal. Like I've said it, and I don't know how far Kemp hits all his home runs, but like I've seen him hit it out of the stadium, and like it's not close. Like it hits the top of the tree that's out there in left field. So I don't know exactly how far they are. I don't know if it's 500 feet, but it's unreal. Like it's crazy just to watch those guys. And even like Elko has an insane amount of oppo juice, like more than I've seen just about anybody probably besides Kemp. But it's just like, I don't understand. Like they just flick balls out. It looks like if you catch a barrel at the right launch angle and everything, it's for sure out for them. It's unreal. It's awesome.
Yeah, you'll need to find that because he got absolutely every bit of it. It's a left-handed perfect swing, and he just annihilated the ball. The ball has marks on it, I'm sure. All right. Anyway, so let's get into what people are listening for. They're not here to listen to me talk about the Marlins. You guys lose to Vanderbilt 3-1. You come out of that game not knowing what your fate is, probably not feeling super about it, and you've got 5 days where there's nothing you can do. There are no games for you to play. It's out of your hands. It's in the hands of a committee of for you guys, probably nameless, faceless people that you don't know who they are, and it's going to be what it is. What were those days like?
Yeah, so like we had said even before the SEC tournament, if we can be 14-16, we should be good. We should be in. And then so we come around and we lose to Vandy, and I think it was about half and half at that point. Like some of us were feeling good still, and then some of us were feeling like, this is going to be closer than we think. And I'm not a guy that reads too much into it. Like I didn't follow all the games. I didn't try to keep up with all the different metrics that they kind of take into account and everything. But some of the guys were, and then so I'd ask them like, hey, what do we need? We're watching games all week. Like, hey, what do we need to happen here? Who needs to win? Who needs to do what? And I swear it seemed like every team that we needed to win was losing. Like it was like, and it finally got to the point where, I mean, it just like kind of felt like our fate would just kept going further and further down. And, you still hold on to a little bit of hope, obviously. And then yesterday we were asking one of our coaches who was kind of really dove down deep into it. He was into it and trying to figure out exactly what needed to happen. And he was telling us yesterday, we're looking good. We just need these 3 teams that should win to win. And then by the end of the night, every single one of those teams has lost. And so we're thinking in our heads, like, I mean, it's just about over. I mean, we probably don't have that much hope. And it was kind of like, you want to believe, like, you want to be like, yeah, we're going to be in, we should be in. I do believe we are good enough to be in, but I don't know if our record shows it or RPI and all that kind of stuff. And then this morning happened, and then all of a sudden it was like totally different. So even the week prior to today, we were asking Coach Clem, our hitting coach, like, you're going to know before us. So we need to know, like, I don't want you playing any games with me. I don't want you coming in here acting all sad. And then, we end up making it. And he was like, no, we won't do that to you. If you can probably read from my body language. That's what he kept saying. Cause I don't think, he wasn't going to tell us, but he said, you'll be able to tell from my body language. And of course us, like, younger college kids are reading into every little thing this morning. Like, as soon as we get there, the talk is, oh my gosh, did you see Coach Clem? He looks mad. And, oh, did you see so-and-so? Like, he's not looking too happy, but this guy was smiling. So I don't know. And blah, 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 blah. And of course, you kind of helped out that situation, but still it was like, we had no idea and they would not tell us. And we're reading into the whole thing. Like, Miss Cammie, Coach B's wife is there. I'm like, surely, he's not going to bring her if we're not in. And then the media guys were there, and then nobody said anything. And then right before the selection happened, Coach B kind of brought us together. I'm like, oh, it's over. Like, Coach B is about to tell us, hey, pack your bags up. We're going home. I don't want you watching the selection show. And he basically just says, like, hey, we're not exactly sure, what's going to happen. I think we're in, but I'm not sure. We're just going to have to listen and watch. And at that point, I was like, gosh, like, I don't even know what to think anymore. Like, I've got some sources telling me yes. I've got some sources telling me no. I have no idea what's going on. And then we watched the selection show, and we're all fired up. It was awesome. It was probably the most excited the team has been to practice right after that. Because as soon as we found that out, we went to practice and we lifted and did everything. It was an unbelievable ride. It was crazy.
Yeah, there's nothing worse, man, in my field than some sources telling you one thing and some sources telling you the polar opposite. That is not a fun place to be. So, you guys, so you see your name pop up, and you're in the tournament, and I mean, you're the last team in, which is not what you intended to be a long time ago, but you're in. I mean, you have an opportunity now. You're one of 64 teams that have an opportunity to advance, and that has to be liberating, right? I mean, it has to be, like you mentioned, the spirit of practice and stuff. It has to be such a relief, and yet at the same time, I would think something a lot more powerful than relief. I mean, you guys have an opportunity. I saw Tim Elko tweet, "Don't let us get hot," and I mean, there's truth in that. I mean, now what happened during the season, it doesn't really matter. You play Arizona, and if you beat Arizona, you play a game on Saturday, probably against Miami, and if you can win that one, you need to win one, then you're in a super regional someplace next week. I mean, it's back in your control, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you would have asked us yesterday, where do you want to play? We don't care. Like, it did not matter to us. I don't care if we were the last team to be picked. Like, we just want a chance. And that's kind of how it's been the whole year. Like, as long as we can get in this tournament, we can make a run. And I really, truly do believe that. And we haven't played our best baseball all year, but I think postseason baseball is a completely different game in some ways. Like, anybody can win on any given day, and especially in the postseason. It's just, I'm just glad we have a chance, and that's the biggest thing for us. Is if you give us a chance, we're going to make a run. So I'm excited.
On top of that, you get Arizona, who eliminated you guys last year. I mean, you get a little shot at redemption. I know you don't think about that all that much a year later. It's different guys, but it's the same uniform, and you get an opportunity against those guys. Is that a little extra something? Yeah,
sure. I mean, there were a couple guys for sure. Like, hey, we get another shot at them. We get to get our revenge, and this time hopefully send them home. It's cool. It's awesome. At the end of the day, like I've been saying, we don't care. Like, we don't care who it is. Like, I was hoping our name was going to be called when we were playing Tennessee. Like, I know we can't necessarily play another SEC team, but like, it didn't matter to us. Like, we just wanted to play and give us a chance.
You guys, I guess I'm not. I don't feel like no one's ever accused me of being like an eternal optimist here, but I'm kind of finding some glimmers of hope here. I mean, guys, getting the quick exit out of Hoover, you didn't use a bunch of pitchers. Everybody's had a chance to rest. Anybody that had, nagging stuff, I would assume I know you guys have practiced and you've done things, but it's different, right? Than playing intense games where you're trying to advance in a tournament and people are diving into fences and stuff. I mean, from a rest standpoint and a battery being charged standpoint, you guys are probably pretty full.
Yeah, that's like one of the first things a lot of the guys said was, of course, we wanted to win the SEC tournament. No
Sure.
doubt we were trying to get out of it, but everybody kept going back to Mississippi State last year. Like, hey, I mean, they went out right away and then went on a run. Like, maybe it'll help us. Maybe it'll give some of our pitchers. DeLucia has pitched a lot in the last couple of weeks, and I don't know if he's tired or sore or anything like that, but maybe he is, and now that gives him time to rest and get ready for this weekend. Same with all the other pitchers. So yeah, I mean, maybe it worked out in a good way.
You kind of scoffed when I said that about practice. What did you guys do the last few days? I know you did stuff, but what was that like?
We inter-squad. It was more of a light inter-squad, 6 innings. The days that we did inter-squad and stuff. It's Coach B from the very beginning. I mean, props to him because he was one of the main guys that was like, hey, we still have a chance. Like we've got to practice. We got to keep going. Like there are teams that aren't even practicing today because they know that they're not in it. We still have a chance to actually make the tournament. Blah 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 blah. So as soon as we got back, we were practicing. We were working out. We were doing everything and trying to get ready for this weekend.
Do you even pay attention to the rest of the bracket now, or is it just locked in on Friday? It just don't even think about the rest of it.
I honestly couldn't tell you who's playing who or any of that kind of stuff. I know a little bit of the other side of our regional of LSU and Southern Miss, but that's about it. No, I didn't really pay attention too much to it. I didn't even know for a little while. We didn't even know Arizona was in our same regional. Because as soon as we heard our names called, it was like we all started cheering and jumping up. And then we forgot to look at the TV about who else we're playing. But no, not really.
Do you ever been to Miami before?
I don't think I've ever been to Miami, so it'll be fun. It'll be a good time, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a story.
Probably a little bit warmer, but
it'll be that for sure. Yeah. I think my first year on the Ole Miss beat. Yeah, I know it was. Now that I think about it, Ole Miss played in a regional in Miami. All I remember about it was, this won't affect you because you'll be out playing, but the press area at the time was cinder blocks, and it was just out in the heat, and you just sweated and just. It was just so hot and you itched everywhere. I remember just itching everywhere because of the heat and the cinder block. You guys won't have that issue, but that's literally all I kind of remember from that regional. Trying to think what else there is to get to. I just you talk about the mood at practice, the mood among you guys. Is it kind of buoyant right now? I mean, what were guys kind of saying to each other at practice and that kind of thing?
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean by we were probably the most excited we've ever been to practice and to work out afterwards, just because, I mean, at least half the team thought for sure we were out, and it gives us a little bit of hope. And we had a ton of energy during practice today, and everyone's fired up to play, and it's going to be awesome. I don't know exactly when we leave. I hope we leave a day early, just because I love getting there. And I've said it before, I love being on the road and doing all that kind of fun stuff, but the vibes are good. The vibes are awesome.
Another thing you guys have going for you is you've played in regionals. You guys have had success in regionals. I know they were in Oxford, but you've gone through the format. How is postseason NCAA specifically, not SEC tournament, because that's a little different thing because you're playing really familiar teams. Everybody knows each other. Like when you guys play Vanderbilt knows everything about you guys, and you guys know everything about Vanderbilt. When you play other teams in that environment, what's the key to winning? You guys have won some regionals.
I think the main thing, at least for me, is to not read too much into it. Like I like to get the pitchers scouting report, from in our hitters meeting and stuff like that. But I don't want to know that guy's the best pitcher on our team or whatever it is, because I like to kind of see it myself. I want to be able to know exactly, what we're going up against and what I think. Because sometimes, the guy may be highly rated, and then I have to go up there and I think I can see him well, or whatever the case may be. I think the main thing is, as dumb as it sounds, just stick to the basics, do exactly what we've been doing of taking it game by game, and keep going. I think another thing, like kind of along the same lines of what you said of we've been there, is like we've also lost. Like we've also seen it to where, you know, our season was over because of how we played and everything. So a lot of these guys from last year returned and know that feeling and know that this is all we got and this is it. If you lose, you're done. So it's good to have the experience.
For you on a personal level, I know your season's been a little bit of a roller coaster at the plate, but you're hitting the ball right now. I mean, you finished the season kind of on a high note. Are you pretty confident in your game as you get ready for the tournament?
Yeah. I'm probably as much confident as I've been in a long time, just up at the plate for sure. Baseball is a crazy game, and especially hitting is unreal. And I feel good. I like where I'm at right now, as crazy as that sounds.
Well, listen, I won't keep any longer. I know you got stuff to do, and I suspect you guys are leaving in the next 48 hours or so to get down there. And thrilled for you that you made it. It's kind of I wish people knew exactly how much of a roller coaster you had today. But anyway, I'm happy for you, and I wish you the very best of luck in Coral Gables. Hope you guys come out of there with the regional championship.
Well, thank you so much. We're fired up.
That's Peyton Chatagnier, Ole Miss second baseman. Hopefully we'll have another Peyton Chatagnier show next week where we're talking about a super regional or something. That would be a lot of fun. Don't forget, we're brought to you by The Rogue, 4450 I-55 North in Jackson. Please stop by or visit them online. Make sure they know how much you appreciate them making this show throughout the course of the baseball season a possibility. I know both Peyton and I appreciate it. So therogue.com or 4450 I-55 North in Jackson. For Peyton Chatagnier, I'm Neil McCready. That does it for this edition of the Peyton Chatagnier Show, brought to you by The Rogue. Take care.